Good evening, or good morning, good noon, or good midnight, whenever and wherever you're watching this. Welcome to the Sunday Poem. Today I have yet another Madison Julius Cawein poem for you. Madison Julius Cawein, the Keats of Kentucky, the master of the wonderful and wondrous and magical. And today's poem is titled The Forest of Fear. And I hope you're just as intrigued as I was when I read the title. And I can say I was not disappointed. Let me know what you think of the poem down in the comments if you want to. Here is The Forest of Fear by Madison Julius Cawein. The cut-throat darkness hemmed me round. I waited, helpless in its grasp. The forest gave no sign or sound. The wind was dead. No insect's rasp I heard, nor water's gulp and gasp, fitting its strength against a stone. The only sound that there was made was my wild heart's, that sobbed alone, knowing itself to be afraid of that vast wood where it had strayed. I dared not move. There was no star to indicate where God might be. Night and his henchmen without bar had there assumed their empery. Nothing but prayer was left to me. Around me seemed to loom the dead of ages past, gaunt in the gloom. And when I heard a stealthy tread, as of one groping from the tomb, I braced myself to meet my doom. And then I heard a breathing low, as of a beast that seeks its prey. And then the footstep, soft and slow, approached again from far away. I held my breath, lest it betray me to some death in monstrous guise, with fang or talon, or a blade grasped in a hand of giant size. Or was the fiend? And then I prayed, who never yet had prayed for aid. I closed my eyes. My heart was still. I did not look. I knew it stood glaring upon me all its fill. When would it strike? The ancient wood seemed waiting eager for my blood. I prayed and prayed. The something there stood waiting, still a fiend from hell, gloating upon my soul's despair. This was the end. I knew too well. It pealed within me like a bell. And then I thought, in spite of all, it is but death. Earth cannot go further than death, whate'er befall. With open eyes I take the blow, and face to face now meet my foe. My foe? Perhaps it was a friend. What whim put in my heart that thought? I had no friends. This was the end, and I would face it. I was caught in the old gin that sin had wrought. And then I looked to see, how could it be, serene of eye, a little child beneath a tree, a child that glimmered starrily, a Christ-like child, not born to die. And overhead I saw the night had doffed its cowl of black, and stood revealed in azure and in white, while all the staring solitude looked on the round moon o'er the wood. I called the child. It smiling came, undid the bonds of my despair, and led me forth. I said, "Your name?" It smiled, and gazing answered, "Prayer." And with that word went into air.